Now, if you've clicked on this video, it's because you're interested in fasting for weight loss. So what we're going to do in today's video is cover off the pros and cons, the different types of popular fasting methods, who it might be beneficial for, how it works, and how you can start implementing fasting into your diet should you want to give it a try. Now, if you're new here, my name is Shannon from Shannon Billows Fitness, and I post weekly videos all about making weight loss easy, simple, and sustainable. So if you want helpful videos just like this every single week, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also give this video a like so we can help more people just like you. So first and foremost, what is fasting? Essentially, it's taking a time frame or a window where you just stop eating any calories or consuming any calorific foods or fluids, and then you resume eating at a later point in the day. Now, there are two very popular methods for this. First one is going to be 16-8, whereby you fast for 16 hours of the day, and then you eat for the other remaining 8 hours. And then the second method is 24-hour fasting, whereby you would have a 24-hour period where you would abstain from calories, and then you would resume your normal calorie intake starting at that 24-hour mark. So let's say you're using the 16-8 method. What would that typically look like throughout the day? A normal schedule for most people would be you'd finish your dinner or your last meal at 8 o'clock at night. You would sleep for about 8 hours during the night, get up, push through the morning, you might have a black coffee, and then you would have your first meal about 11, 12, or 1 o'clock. This essentially gets you 16 hours of fasting, even though for 8 of those hours, you're still sleeping. And then if you're doing 24-hour fasting, it works the same way, except for most people, you would usually go from dinner until dinner the next day, or from lunch till lunch, or breakfast until breakfast. So how does fasting work for weight loss? Well, it works exactly the same way that calories in, calories out does for weight loss. If you take a set amount of time where you abstain from eating calories or drinking calories, you're essentially going to shorten the window or the time span in which by you can consume your calories. Now, calories in and calories out still applies. Intermittent fasting isn't a magic cure-all, I get to eat whatever I want when I start eating fat loss diet. So fasting is just going to allow you the flexibility to plan your calories in and around when you like to eat, as opposed to having to fit it into a set specific structure of, say, eating every 3 hours because some Instagram coach told you to. Let's run through the pros and cons of including intermittent fasting into your lifestyle. It gives you the flexibility to eat when you want to eat. You don't have to follow a strict, rigid structure, provided your calories are in check in that day or on a weekly average. Some people prefer not eating in the morning, so this allows you to skip breakfast, push through until about lunch, and then start your calories later in the day. Some people also get hungrier the earlier that they eat in the day, and myself personally being one of them, I like to have a meal just slightly after morning or getting up, and then starting my calories or my first meal a bit later in the day, so I'm not as hungry as earlier on. If you're on very low calories, it allows you to have larger meals. So let's say you're dieting on close to 1200 calories if you're a small sedentary female. Instead of having 300 calorie meals spread over the course of 14 hours, you get to save some of those calories and have larger, more substantial meals later in the day, which could possibly help your adherence to your overall diet and your overall calorie intake. Now, some of the cons are literally the opposite of the pros. Some people love breakfast and they have to have breakfast first thing in the morning. So in your case, skipping breakfast may not be an option for you, but you may want to possibly try skipping lunch or even skipping dinner. Some people get really hangry if they don't eat within a certain time frame. So if that's you, you might want to opt for a more frequency-based approach to eating as opposed to skipping meals and being a bit more hangry throughout the day. And then some people do take fasting a bit too far or extreme. People then start to think that if 16 hours is good or 24 hours is good, then 30 or 40, 50, even a week of fasting must be better, which isn't the case. We just want you to have fasting as an option or a tool for you to be able to apply to your diet on a needs basis. And just know that fasting isn't magical. You will still have to adhere to calories in, calories out. It doesn't mean that you get to go for an all-you-can-eat buffet at pizza on Saturday just because you've had an all-day fast. When it really comes down to it, fasting is just another glorified way of saying, I skip breakfast and I don't eat until later in the day. And just note, just because fasting works for you or works for your friend at work who does fasting doesn't mean it needs to be the approach for everyone. Now, let me know in the comments below, guys, are you fasting? Have you tried it before? And what has been your experience, or if you had any success including fasting into your fat loss or your maintenance diet. Now, if you found this video helpful, give it a quick like, make sure you subscribe for future videos like this one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.